Hey, this is Steven from Legit PC, and this is my review of Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell Blacklist. So, first thing we're going to do is we're going to go and look at the video options here. So when you go into video options, you have the basics here, the refresh rate or whatever, and then you have the advanced options, was what you see. I'm going to be going to here in a second. I'm going to be going right now. Okay, so here obviously you have a lot of different options here. The biggest one probably on here is you want to set, don't do what I did, set to FXAA or TXAA 2. And then you change your DirectX 11, your DirectX to DirectX 11 if you have a compatible card. And as you saw at the beginning, there was a reel where it said that it was running on Unreal Engine. So, of course, I was thinking that I was going to have a big problem with tearing, which I did not. So this is a big surprise here. That right there was just my capture card. So, a little bit about the game. This right here is one of the single-player missions. So this game, of course, is Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell. It's been around for a long time. It started out with Stealth Redefined, which I had as one of my first games for PC. Basically, it stays sort of original to the first one. This one is more on like you could pick different kinds of how you want to go about things. You could go Ghost, Panther, and Assault. So basically, Ghost is where you don't shoot any bullets. All you do, you don't shoot any bullets, you don't kill anybody. So all you do is you go stealthily, like what I have right now with sleeping gas, put him to sleep, or knock him out with melee, like that right there. And as you see, a ghost thing popped up in the bottom. That one gives you the most, I believe. So that's usually what I went for. But there's also Panther, which is like sleeping gas, and stealth knockout, so no one else hears you. But there's all different kinds of ways to play. So also there's a whole bunch of extras in the game. As you see, you could look for laptops, dead drops, things like that. And as I'll get to later in the video, there's a lot of customization for your player, as well as a badass multiplayer, which will be here later on. So so far the game, obviously the engine's absolutely beautiful. 60 frames a second on those settings that I had, I believe. Only downside, the biggest downside to this game is the Uplay it runs on. I bought this from Green Man Gaming, and I didn't have the option to get it for Steam, and Uplay just totally just the way it updates and installs is just obsolete compared to what it does for Steam. It's the first time I've actually used an installation wizard for a game in a long time, but Uplay does it. Steam, you just tell it to download, and then it just sets up the .NET framework, the Microsoft .NET framework, and then you're done. Or if you're behind on your DirectX, it'll install that too. But so I had to patch a lot. I had to patch like 3 times, 3 different patches, and if you don't install the patches, it won't let you play online play. And these are big patches, and it had quite a bit of big problems. So at one point I had to uninstall it, but it was kind of my fault. I moved the directory, and I couldn't point to where the directory was again, and it wouldn't find it, so I had to reinstall it. Eventually got it working pretty good. Just had a couple glitches that were a problem. Not too big of a deal. Overall got it to work pretty well. So as you see here, pretty remnant of some of the first games. Obviously the graphics are a lot better, and there is a lot of different missions. So you have your campaign missions, and then you have your side missions. This particular one is a campaign mission, but the next footage I have is of an extra mission. You'll have extra missions where you have to defend a point through waves of enemies, right? And they just keep coming. And then you leave after you have the option to leave after every 5 waves. There's a mission where you have to kill everybody on site and then move to a second site and destroy and kill everybody or neutralize all the targets in that point as well, and then you move on. There's other missions where it's only co-op only. So there's another character, your backup, right? His name's Briggs, and all of his missions are co-op only, which could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. And like I said earlier, if you're not patched, it won't let you co-op or multiplayer, so it has to be patched. Overall, you know, great looking game. It's really good at playing. I like the I like all the stuff like up against the wall and whistling and all that kind of stuff. Overall, really good. So this next portion, like I said, is an optional co-op here. And like you're gonna see later on this at the end of this quarter, which is coming up very quickly, this game is definitely up there with Tomb Raider. Multiplayer is awesome, single player is awesome, long game. Let me see if I could even find how to see how long I played it on Uplay. No, I don't think I can. But I'm gonna say about maybe 10 hours. 12 hours. Especially, I didn't do all the extra co-ops and all the extra missions. I did most of them, and then when it got down to it, I wanted to at least finish it and see the ending and let you guys know whether the ending's good, and it is good. Exactly how I would see it, right? The other cool thing is that you could play, if you're having problems on multiplayer, you could play single player, you get money towards your multiplayer, so you could spend it on gun attachments. And I'll show you how that works later on. Actually, the next portion after this is that. But, yeah, you could customize what kind of, as you see, what kind of optical you have, how you want to play through it. And right there is the execute, which you could pick 3 targets and take them out. I mean, overall, a very, very good tactical game. Very good step back from all the other games that are out right now. Definitely good breath of fresh air, especially all the level design. The level design is absolutely excellent. Definitely allows you to experiment with things and different ways to get around. And sometimes the multiplayer could get really intense as well. Okay, so soundtrack, it's alright. Voiceovers, the dialogue in this, the dialogue and monologue in this game are definitely awesome. It definitely adds some strain, right? Lots of different people that fly in the Paladin, right? Your team definitely has some love and hate relationship, as well as when you could talk to each member of the team by going up and, you know, talking to them, hit E to talk, and then you see their frustrations and things like that. As well as at first the story goes pretty slow, and then it really starts to ramp up at the end. So this particular one here is that one I was telling you about, where you have to destroy all the hostiles in a certain area. So it says 5 hostiles remaining, and it has a similar thing to where you have to where you're in an embassy and you have to defend the embassy. It'll say, you know, how many hostiles remaining, as well as what wave you're on. So game is definitely built very well. Perfect engine to pick to run this game on.
Stay down if you don't want to get hurt.
And here's another campaign mission where you can't really be too stealth. Accidentally just killed the I think I killed the hostage. Anyways. Yeah, here's where the campaign gets a little ramped up, right? what else can I say about it? I mean, it's really an awesome game. Like right now, I can't really it's been a long time behind on the review, so trying to remember portions that I said at the beginning. Like I said, if Uplay wasn't there, or if it was better, which is just not there yet, it would be absolutely perfect game. Perfect game. What else do we got? Like I said, multiplayer is awesome. This is probably one of those games that like you can maybe even change it out with Call of Duty. I could see that happening. But of course, there's no prestige. Once you get to max level, that's max level. You're done. But you know, you could definitely get better at it, and so here I'm putting both. I'm putting the hostage and the regular dude to sleep. Alright, so here's the customization. So this is Sam, right? It says Sam, which is basically means that this is the campaign only customization. But like I said, the money that you see at top right can go to campaign or co-op. And here, as you can see, you have three different ones. You have stealth, you know, movement speed, and control of your weapon. So you could go for, or armor. Sorry, armor. So you could take a lot of shots, be really quick, or be really stealthy, or you could have a mix, right? Sorry, the speed isn't in here, but it's weapon handling, stealth, and armor. So, you know, you can take a lot of shots, be really stealthy, where it takes a lot more for the campaign AIs to see you, or be really good with your weapon if you want to do something like assault. And I could understand, you know, assault run through. This game, you could definitely do 3 different playthroughs, going through the 3 different ways in campaign, but I personally wouldn't, because you get all that in the multiplayer. And here you see all of the weapons. The only downside is that you do not get sniper rifles in multiplayer, whether you're a merc or a spy, which is unfortunate, but you know. And here's all the attachments, right? So you could add, in this case, in the case of the third-person spy, you can't look down the barrel of your gun. So it just adds, you know, better accuracy where your crosshair's at. If you're playing as a merc, or some points in the campaign you play as Briggs during the campaign, and you do look down your gun as like a merc, right? You can't put your back to the wall or anything like that, which is also characteristic of a merc in multiplayer. Obviously, as you see here, we're on to a spy. So this is one of the multiplayer guys. You saw that he has different optics to see differently, as well as these suits. These are the main basis of your character. You have the overcharged suit, destroys all electrical. You have ghillie suit, and you have intel suit. Intel suit marks enemies and keeps them marked for your opponent, for your teammates. As well, same thing here. You have armor, stealth, and speed for the spies, and that, you know, goes out accordingly. And as you see how it has the circle and the 1, that is unlocks as you get leveled up in the game. It gives you 2 unlocks, and you can spend it like that. And here, as you see, the attachments cost regular money, so you can play campaign and spend it towards your multiplayer attachments. As well as you saw, you get 3 different custom slots for your different character. Those other 2, right? And here's a mercenary. You have Peacemaker, Hunter, and Disruptor. So I use I think it's Peacemaker. I'm not completely sure, but you have one that does adrenaline, one that disrupts all equipment in the area, and another one that could control a UAV, similar to the tricopter in campaign. And here you have other visuals. And of course, in this particular one, you have weapons handling, right? Which, as I said, this is a first-person view and first-person gameplay, FPS, right? Just like Call of Duty or whatever. You're looking down your gun. You can't put your back to the wall. You can't do any of that stuff. But same controls, right? So in this case, you pick which attachment you want to see down through the scope. If you want sniper scope, if you want an ACOG scope, or if you want just a laser scope, or iron sight. It doesn't change your reticle or anything like that. And then, as you see, a lot more weapons for the Merc. The Spy only has submachine guns or the stun crossbow, but these guys definitely have a lot more weapons. As you see, no sniper rifle. You just have the shotgun, assault rifle, and LMG. So we're gonna go on to some multiplayer footage here next. I was just going to explain a little bit about, you have multiple different types of multiplayer. You have, 2 versus 2, you have 4 versus 4, where basically it's like this: the spies hack the main terminal, and then the mercs try to defend the terminals. You have another one where the spies have to defend the terminals and the mercs have to hack the terminals. And then you have deathmatch, that one, the previous one I was talking about, that's extraction. Then you have deathmatch, where you have different teams that basically you just try to, whoever gets the most kills wins. But you could have teams of spies and mercs on the same team rather than being separate, sort of like you see here. That one's really difficult because basically everybody could see you, right? You can't just hide from the merc, because the spy will see you, and you can't just hide from the spy because then chances are a merc will see you. And you have to go about taking people out certain ways, because the mercs can't go through ducts or jump through windows or climb walls, but a spy can. So if you run away from a merc, a spy could still come and get you. And so that was a spy, and now we're going into a little bit of a merc. So as you see, this is a first person, the other one was third person. The previous one I could go up against the wall and stuff, this one you cannot.
Terminal A is being compromised.
And you see that your special, you hit control, and that activates your special. Which in this case, mine's adrenaline, so he sticks in his hand and you can run faster. And you see on the bottom I have like a, not a UAV, but like a GPS type thing, where it detects movement. As you see, they really have this weird smooth mouse thing on it, which doesn't really help at all that much. It's kind of weird. Definitely want to activate something where you could get your mouse smoothed out. But you see that they're just all over the place, and it's pretty scary. You have those blips. Some of them have the digital ghillie suit, so they go invisible, and you have no clue where they're even at. And they're just coming up on you, and you see that they're closer. You don't know if they're underneath. You don't know if they're up top. Especially when you're going to look for a hacker inside a room, right? And he's up on top of the walls, hiding from you, and there's like 3 teammates in there. There's like 3 of his teammates about to jump off the wall and get you. Similar to something like that. And of course, mine doesn't go off if he's not moving. So overall, great multiplayer experience. As you see here, you get kind of that gap that you usually get on games like this, where someone's really high level and you have people really low level, and the guys that are really high level are just blown out of proportion good, right? They know all the hiding spots. Sometimes you even have some spawn killers that know where all the spawns are at because they played it for long enough.
We lost that match.
But yeah, I mean, you get really good at it and go for the gold. In this case, this was SVM Blacklist there. So now time for the conclusion. So for the conclusion here, Splinter Cell Blacklist, definitely a great game. Love the story. Love the voice actors. Uplay was a little buggy. If you definitely get the Steam version, you will probably not see any bugs at all. And it'll automatically patch for you, all that kind of stuff. What else? Multiplayer is great. Absolutely awesome multiplayer. Something that I haven't seen in a while, where you have two different types of classes with two different types of strong suits, and just it's really entertaining. As you see, like, you could see them but they can't see you. They got more firepower, you're more sneaky, that kind of thing. That's really the defining point of the multiplayer, and that's what makes it really great. Good price, long playthrough with a lot of different missions that have definitely some difficulties. There's some where you'll do it like 3 or 4 times, get to the end finally on the 4th time, and then get seen, and it's just all over right there. It's done. Definitely a different type of game for whoever wants to play it. You know, you could avoid them, or you could avoid them altogether, not even touch them, don't even know that you're there, or you could kill them all, you know, with an unsuppressed assault rifle that you picked off of a dead body, you know, an AK with no silencer on it, and just take everybody out. It's definitely a fun game to play. I enjoyed playing it. Definitely a long playthrough. It took a long time for me to get to the review, but definitely wanted to see that I got everything here, especially when I knew that this was going to be a contender for Game of the Quarter, and maybe even Game of the Year. Game of the Quarter, Game of the second semester, or Game of the Year for me, for what I think. So, definitely a game that you would want to get. Plays awesome. You know, reminds me back of when I had the Stealth Redefined and Pandora Tomorrow. I used to play that. It's been a long time since then, and it's made a lot of improvements, a lot of good gameplay improvements. It's definitely a game to play. So I would highly suggest that you get it and watch some of my footage here and see if it's the game for you, and play through it and keep playing the multiplayer. Maybe it's your next primary game. So definitely a game to get. This has been Steven from Legit PC, and this is my review of Splinter Cell Blacklist. If you like my videos, please subscribe for other videos like it, and thanks for watching.